Yeah, hi. Good morning to everyone. So let's start our session now. Okay. So I think in the last session, we completed the entire control statements. So as part of control statements, we completed decision making and then looping statements, as well as we completed the branching statements. So with that, we are done completely with the control statements in Java. So by using control statements, so yeah, by using control statements in Java, we are just defining conditions as well as we are defining loops as well as we are making sure like where the control of the Java execution should be exited or where it should return or where it should jump from one place to another place. So these are all things we are done are discussed as part of the control statements. So 99 percentage every time we will use control statements whenever we are working as part of the real-time applications with respect to every requirement. Why? The reason is because when it comes to real-time applications in the sense, it's all about the requirements will involve multiple conditions, and so as well as the real-time requirements will involve multiple, the logic has to be executed or the logic has to be repeatedly executed for certain number of conditions. So for until reaching a condition like that, every requirement will involve multiple other things. So that's why 99 percentage every requirement implementation will always have either decision making statements or looping statements or both at a time. So if you are good with, so I'm telling you one more time, fundamentally, if you are good with control statements as well as, control statements, especially with respect to decision making, like if, else, all these things, and then followed by that looping statements, for loop, all these things. And then, so if you are fundamentally good with all these things, we can understand the stream API concepts. I mean, there is no directly involvement of all these concepts in the stream API, what we are going to discuss after some point of time. So there is no direct involvement, but the point here it is whatever the fundamental background of these concepts being involved as part of the stream API over there. But the way you are writing the programming will change from the way what we are doing right now in the looping as well as conditions when we are moving to the Stream API. So there we are having some kind of different programming, functional interfaces, all these things. But that's what I'm telling you. This knowledge is more important to understand the upcoming topics. So please concentrate, please practice every example, everything, whatever I'm just teaching. That's all you have to do. Other than that, nothing much you have to do. Okay. So we will see all these concepts step by step point of view when it comes to the time. Okay, so today what I'm going to discuss about is, so I'm going to discuss about a concept called as user input, dynamic input. So what is the point of concept here it is? So it's a very small topic and then we'll move one more topic called as constructors. So once we are done with the user dynamic input, yeah, once we are done with this, then we will move to the constructors topic if you have time today itself. Okay. So now what is the point of user dynamic input? The concept of today's is user dynamic input. So that means as of now, whenever we are writing the programs. So whenever we are writing a program, what we are taking like, for example, if I'm asking you write addition of two values, what you are doing, you are taking, as of now, what we did, we taken value 1 equal to 10 and then integer value 2 equal to 20, like that we are taking the values. So that means in this case what we did, the value, so whatever the program you written, for example, assume you written a program add something, method, and inside method you written all this logic, okay, fine. And whenever if I am executing the add method in this case, what will happen, it will keep on return a plus b. something like that. So in this case, what will happen if I am executing the add method? What will happen? Sorry, not a plus b, value 1 plus value 2, value 1 plus value 2. So, yeah. So if I am executing this add method for the first time, I'll get output of 30. So even if I am executing second time, again I will get 30. So if I am doing third time, again I will get 30. Why? The reason is we are given values of value 1 and value 2 variables. So the variable data. So these are all variables, two variables we used. So and for those variables, we define data permanently. Permanent data we given. So that means fixed data. I cannot select permanent. We given fixed values to these two variables. So if I am executing 100 times the above program, what will happen? The Java executor, the Java JVM or the Java executor will not ask any data from the user. So that means what is the point here? It is we given values directly, fixed values to these variables, or we given values as part of our logic itself. Take value 1 as 10, value 2 as 20, and we are adding those values always. So that's why if you are executing this program, above program, second time, first time, third time, 100 times, you will get output always 100. I mean always 30 only. So if you want to, for example, if I am asking, no man, I want output of 100 comma 200, then what we will do? You will go to the program and you will change the values from 30 to, I mean 10 to 100 or whatever it is. So based on that, you will change the values. So 100 and followed by 300. Then again you will execute the program. So then you will get the output again. If you are executing the program, what you will get? You will get the 400. So in this case, what is the problem? If I am executing the program for the first time or second time or third time or any point of time, so it internally JVM taking these values and adding the values. As a programmer, I given values directly as part of the program itself. So that's why it is taking those values and adding the values. It looks like not a real-time application. Why? The reason is every time it is keep on adding the 100 and 300 values if I'm keep on executing this logic. But if somehow whenever I'm executing the program, whenever we are executing the program, is there a way we can enter data dynamically? So whenever we are executing the program, we can enter data dynamically. Do we have any way like that? Means yes. So that means whenever Java executing the program, whenever Java executing this program, I mean whenever we are executing this program, so here I will not define the values. So that means my point here it is I will define some concept, whatever it is, we will see that. So we will make sure we will take value 1, value 2 as variables. That's okay. And I will add the values always, whatever the data comes here. So in this case, data should come. So how the data should come? So that means in this case, I would like to enter different different values every time while when executing the program. So that means as a user, if I'm executing the add method means what I have to do is, so now for example, for the first time I'm executing the program. So what I am doing, I'm executing the program. So in this case, whenever I'm executing the program, immediately JVM should come here and should ask me, could you please enter the value 1 like that. Then what I will do, dynamically I will give some value 12 and then it should ask me, can you enter one more value like that. Then I will enter some value dynamically like this. So then ultimately by taking these two values, then JVM will add these two values, then it will return, then it will return 46 or whatever it is. Now, if I am executing this second time, again, in this case also, JVM should ask me what is the value 1, what is the value 2, like that. So now in this case, again, I will give some random value, whatever it is. Okay. So whatever it is, I'll give this some random values, 66 and 34. So again, it should add these two values. So it should add these two values. So that means in this case, what is the behavior we are applying to this program is providing data dynamically when you are executing the program. In this approach, what we did, we are not provided values to the variables dynamically. We are provided in a way like in the as part of the logic itself, when you are creating variable itself, we given the values, fixed values. So whenever you are executing the program, 1,000 times, it will never ever ask you what is the value for this, what is the value for this. It will execute your program. JVM will never ask the user, whoever is executing this program, whoever is calling this method or whatever it is. So it will never ask what is the value of for the this variable and this variable, because you already defined the values. So JVM will take those values and JVM will execute your program always without involving the user input values. But in this case, my approach is changed. What it is, I did not provided any values here, but I written only formula. I written only logic. I did not provided any data here. But when it comes to the real operations, this is all just like pseudocode. It is all just like formula. So when it comes to the real operations, real data, real values, whenever we want to see output, definitely value 1 and value 2 variables should have some data. And that data, this time what I'm doing, I'm making the program behavior like whenever I'm executing the program, at that time JVM should ask me what is the value 1, what is the value 2, like that. So that as a user, I'm going to enter the data every time whenever I'm executing the program. Whenever user is executing the program, the data should be entered. So that is what the dynamic input I am providing. So simply this will be called as dynamic input by user. Dynamic input by user. So this is what we are doing. So now what will happen if I am executing first time, until and unless you are not entering the values, your JVM, Java will not execute the rest of the logic. So like that, we have to make sure the program behavior. Yes. So that means dynamically we are providing the input for every execution. On every execution. On every execution. Second time, third time, if you are executing the program third time, again JVM will ask, hey man, what are the values for value 1, 2, like that. So then again I will enter some different values. So that means on every execution, I would like to enter real values to these things, and then it should add the values. So this kind of behavior I have to bring it here. So that means ultimately what I am doing here, it is I am providing dynamic input. Dynamic means on the spot I am giving the values whatever comes in my mind with respect to integer data, whatever it is. So on the spot we are providing the values like that. So is it possible? Means yes, we can do it in Java. But when it comes to the real-time applications, I'll just tell you once this is comes under. I'll give you a just overview. Really whatever we are doing in the right now with respect to dynamic input point of view, that kind of logic implementation is possible in real-time applications or not. I'll tell you that. We will see that. Okay, so now let's do how to provide dynamic input by the user on every time program is executing. Let's see here. Yes. So here Java provided 3 solutions, especially 2 solutions. Okay. Out of them, we can use one of the solution. That's more enough. So that will be called as Java provided a predefined class called as predefined classes. So Java provided a predefined classes called as scanner classes, as well as one more we have buffer reader also. So these are all predefined classes. So by using these two classes, by using these two classes, we can take input, we can take input to data while program execution in progress. So that means whenever your JVM is executing our program, so at that time we can provide the input values to the program. So that means by if you are using these two classes, somehow we can take input data while program execution in progress. So that means you can enter the data dynamically. That means if you are using this out of these two, one of the classes, somehow you can take input data dynamically from the program. So that means what is going to happen here, it is now the behavior is, that's what I'm telling you. It's not only for value 1, value 2. It's all about any variable data. So now you will define variable. Oh my God, give me a second. Yeah. So now what will happen here, it is we will define variables in our logic, but not values, but not the values. So we will define only variables inside our logic without values. Without values. And after that, what will happen? You will do the compilation. So at compilation, nothing. Compilation will verify you given all the things properly or not with respect to syntaxes and all. So compilation. So once compilation is completed, what we will do? We will go for the execution. So then you will get the dot class file and then you will go the execution. Yeah. So execution. Now generally what is happening, if you take in any program from our previous examples, if I take an operators only, maybe for example our previous thing, if you see here I take in value 1 and value 2, something like that. So if I, what will happen in this case, if I am executing my program run as Java application, what happened? I can see the output. It's not asking what is value 1, value 2 like that. Simply it is doing some kind of thing, whatever it is we are doing here. So yeah, I'll delete all these things. Just I'm showing with respect to old program. So what will happen? Value 1 plus value 2. Whatever I'm doing, whatever it is, it's not asking me dynamically. Value minus value 1 minus value 2, something like that. So if I'm executing, it is simply adding 10 plus 20, and sorry, 100 plus 20, 100 minus 20. You got the output. But my behavior it is, I don't want to give 120 fixed values. I don't want to give 120 fixed values. So whenever I'm executing this program, then JVM should ask me what is the value 1, value 2 like that. So then I will give whatever the values comes in my mind, and based on my requirement I'll give like maybe 10 comma 20, 33 comma 44, something like that. I'll provide the values dynamically. So that is what we are going to achieve by using either scanner or buffer reader classes. So in this case, we will use the scanner class concept, and then we don't need to worry about buffer reader. You can try on your own with the buffer reader also, but concept is same. Okay, so let's take the scanner class. So what is a scanner class? How to use this scanner class? To take dynamic data input from the keyboard, we will see it. So that means by using this class, we can make sure getting input data from keyboard, from keyboard or user, simply I can use from keyboard or user while Java execution while Java execution in progress. While Java logic execution is in progress. So that is what we can do that. So how to do that? Let's see. It's a very simple thing. Okay, let me take a new program for this. new. I'll take same one package here itself, something like dynamic input. Okay, I'm just taking a new Java class. So let's take something small operation only first. Yeah, so I'll just make calculator operations. See now, at one point of time, if I'm asking you take two values, the requirement is like this. Okay, requirement is two values you have to take, and then you have to do addition, subtraction, and then multiplication, and then division. So this is what I'm expecting from, I mean, as part of requirement. Generally, what we will do, we'll take some two values and then we'll perform the operations. Integer x equal to something. So this is what we are doing right now in as of now. Integer y equal to something we given values here itself. So dynamically I'm not giving. In the logic itself, directly I'm providing the values. Then we are doing like system.out.println of addition and subtraction, whatever it is. Addition is what we are doing. So maybe we can take here x integer result equal to x plus y, x plus y. So then you are just adding the result here. So here you are doing, concentrate on here. The rest of the things okay, common. But here what is the problem? Here it is, we are providing the fixed values. We are providing the fixed values like 10 and 50. But I want to make sure somehow I don't want to provide values like this. So result, so if you see here, you got the 60. Similarly, you will do whatever the thing you want to do it, like subtraction, minus and everything. Fine. So I'm not writing logic for all other things, just etc. etc. Okay. So if I'm doing again subtraction for these two things, so you're getting the value. But my point is, I want to avoid provided values here, so that I'll provide values while my program execution in the stop. So I have to make sure I'm entering the values dynamically for x and y, so that then addition and subtraction should happen for those two values all the time, like whatever I'm giving while Java is executing the program. So how to do that? Yes. So here let's take the, now in this case observe, you have to take input for x variable and variable, y variable. And this is a integer variable, this is a integer variable. So how to do that? So I said we have to take the scanner class. Okay. So what you have to do, and when it comes to the real usage of x variable and y variable, you are doing from line number 15 onwards. So what is my point here? It is, in this case, what you did, you declared only variable. Declared means created or defined, whatever it is. So you created only variables here, but the same variables usage started. Usage means those variables you have started using from line number 15 onwards. So from line number 15 onwards, what you are doing, you are started using those variables. Started using those variables. So that means in between this, first of all, in Java, I have to define the variables to do some operations. And after that, I started using from here at onwards. So that means in this area, I have to make sure, but in Java, we have one more rule. What it is, before using a variable, that variable should have a value. So that means before performing any operation, so what is the rule here? It is in Java we understood that variable should have a value. That variable should have a value always. That variable should have a value always. But in this case, I did not provided values. But at the same time, I started using the variables from here onwards. that x comma y. So that means in this gap, I have to make sure somehow x comma y values are available. Values are provided. So understand the point, guys. In between the declaration and in between the usage of the variables, you have to make sure values are ready for those variables. So how to do that? Let's see here. Now in this case, yes, let's take input here. So that means I will ask user to enter, I will ask user to enter x and y values. So why? Because Java execution will always start from main method and line by line. So it will enter here x and y. But whenever it comes to the x comma y, there is no values given to the x and y. That's why Java compiler or Java compiler is saying, hey man, you written logic somehow good only, but what about the values of x and y? You are not written any logic to take data input from the keyboard, as well as you are not provided any values. Like that, you are getting the compile time error here in this case. Variable x may not have been initialized. So it is saying like, it seems to be there is no value initializer for x and y, so that's why this logic is not good. But I plan this time, instead of providing fixed values here, I'm taking input from the keyboard dynamically. Input from keyboard dynamically. So how to do that? So I said scanner, right? So there is a scanner class called as predefined class. So whenever I said predefined, it is from the Java language. And if you see here, scanner is a class from the package called as java.util. Now tell me, in this case, if I want to use this class, what I have to do? Any one of you can tell me, either Deshraj, Shyam, whoever it is. So if I want to use scanner class in my program, and this is from the java.util package, what I have to do? So the first point is, yeah, we need to import the package. That's right, 100% is correct. That is what I am expected. Yes, because in Java, java.lang is a default package. So that from that package, if you are using any classes, no need to import. Java will take care of internal import. But other than java.lang package, if you are using any predefined classes from other packages, 100% you have to import that package. And then only you can use classes from that package into your Java program without any issues. So now generally Eclipse will do that. If you observe here, as of now, there is no import. There is no import. But generally what will happen, whenever you are typing and if you are doing the control space, generally in Eclipse, if you are typing first three letters and if you are clicking on control space, then generally what Eclipse will do is, Eclipse will show with that letters, whatever you typed first three letters, any other things are there, Eclipse will show intelligence. It will be called as intelligence, Eclipse intelligence. So Eclipse is saying, are you looking for the, for example, I given SCA and I'm clicking on the control space immediately, then Eclipse is asking, with SCA there are so many things available in the Java language which you want. So in this case, you identified this is the class you want. So if you are clicking on this, or if you selected with mouse or whatever the way it is, see it is given full word, and as well as Eclipse is added import statement here. If you observe here, import is added automatically by the Eclipse, or else as a Java developer, I mean, we have to type it manually. So these are the advantages of editors, IDEs. So whenever you selected that, then the Eclipse is added automatically, import statement. Okay, cool. Now take a variable. So that means in this case, what I am trying to do is, I am creating, it's a class, guys, creating an object, creating an object for scanner class, creating an object for scanner class. Okay, fine. So how to create object for the scanner class means, simply it is all about class variable name, I mean object name equal to new class name formula only. Now see here, new scanner. But here, one small thing is there. You don't know that concept. That's what I told you. Once scanner concept is completed, I'll discuss about the constructors. So now as part of that constructors only, you will come to know what is this value we are providing. As of now, what we did guys, whenever we created an object, we know one formula like this. Class name followed by object name equal to new and class name empty parenthesis. But this time scanner is always expecting one constructor argument. What is constructor and all? After this example, we will come to know that. So for time being, just next half an hour or 1 hour maybe, you just need to by heart this value. What I am providing here, why I am providing here, what's happening. If I am providing a value here while creating object itself, that means it will be called as a constructor argument. So what is constructor? What is constructor argument? What happens with this with the values what we defined here when you are creating the object, and all you will understand in another half an hour, or we'll start discussion in another half an hour. So for that means for time being just by heart it. So here if you observe here again I am taking one more class called as system class. System class. If you observe here, this is the class I am using. So let me write down system and then I will write dot in. So what is the in means input here, input stream. So what is input stream? What is output stream? So these are all things you will come to know in the upcoming topics when it comes to the file input operations or input stream operations point of view. So then you will come to know what is in. So generally I'll write like this. If you observe here, system.in, system.out. So to print something simple guys, I'll tell you these are all things later. We will discuss one find what is this out, what is this in. System is a predefined class. Now understand whatever you are using everyday system.out.println. So from that system is what? A predefined Java class from the package called as java.language. Now the same class I have used here also. So here in representing input from keyboard. Okay. So that means in is representing input by the user. Input from user. That means you have to enter via keyboard pointer. So here out representing output. So that means Java will make sure the data whatever you given here with respect to these double quotes or whatever it is going to print it as out. So that is what here it is. So system is also a predefined class from the java.lang package. And can you tell me whatever I highlighted here is this, what concept is involved in this? Variables, methods, if it is variables, what topic, if it is methods, what topic being involved in this section? Can any one of you tell me? Live about the system are in and all. So I have one concept is there in between this highlighted one. What is that concept? Not parameter. No, I just asking live about everything. Just whatever I highlighted in the blue color. Based on that, just tell me there is a concept involved in this. No methods. No methods. See, it's a simple thing, guys. Method is nothing but always it will involve what? Parenthesis. Simple rule. Not methods. Variables. And that too variables. What type of variable concept is involved in this? Can you guess? We have two types of variables, right? Static variables, non-static variables. Yes. Static variable will be how local variable. Now I'm just asking about system.in. System is a class, in is a variable. System is a class, out is a variable. So when you will use class name along with the variable, whenever that variable is a static variable, whenever that variable is a static variable, yes. So you will use class name and all. So these are all predefined. That's what I told you. We will have predefined classes, user defined classes like that. So in this case, system is a predefined class, in is a variable. If you want, I can show you that. What is this? Static variable. So the data type is input stream. So what is final and all you will understand later. So simply in is what? Static variable. So that's why defined in which class? System class. From Java version 1 onwards. Similarly, we'll have one more variable called as out variable also. See here, out variable. That is also static variable. Now in this case, println is what? Method. Println is a method. Why? You are using parentheses and it is taking some arguments. So println available from the out variable. Out variable is representing print stream. So these are all things you have to do the postmortem, guys. I mean, it's not involved to this scanner class, just the point came. That's why I'm telling you. So system is a predefined class. So far, whatever you are doing every day, like system.out. So that means you are sending this data to the console, like for printing. You are giving this data to JVM. Hey JVM, please print this data as an output to the user. In this case, what you are asking, in this case, what you are doing with the scanner class is, you are telling to the JVM, hey JVM, please take input from the user by using system.in. But the concept, whatever you passed as part of the object creation, here it will be called as constructor argument. So what is constructor and all, you will see in some time. That's why I thought of taking this class, this concept, scanner class after constructors, but I thought like because of this small point, we are not getting a feel like taking data from the input, I mean taking input from the keyboard, and we are not able to make sure executing the programs with dynamic data like that. So it's already got deleted. So that's why we taken right away, no problem. So with this, my scanner object is ready. With this, my scanner object is ready. So now see here what I'm doing. I'm getting value of X from user. No. User means whoever is executing the program. So what I will do now? X equal to scanner dot what it is next. Scanner is a predefined class. I created object, and whenever it is a predefined class, definitely it will have lot of predefined methods also. So now I have to identify one of the method out of all the methods, and I have to do that. So if you see here, something is next integer int is there. It's a predefined method. So I will tell you what is this method standard and why I taken only this method out of all many methods. Also I will tell you. So now what I am doing in this case is, so now what, once you created a scanner object, whenever you executed the program, what is going to happen in this case is, whenever JVM comes to line number 21, it will ask the user, hey user, please enter, please provide the X value. Like that, JVM is going to ask the user, please provide X value like that. So it is JVM is going to wait until you are providing the X value. JVM will wait for you once it is reaching line number 21. Now user thought like, okay, let me give 10. Then JVM will move to the next line like that. So in the next line again, what I'm doing, I'm taking Y value also. Scanner dot next integer. So now in this case, yours return logic for Y also. Return logic for Y also. See, now the errors are gone. Compile time errors are gone. So that means you define the variables, you taken the data for the variables, and you are finally making the operations. But this time data is not defined as a fixed values at the variables level itself. We are taking data, we are planning to take data from the keyboard dynamically whenever I am executing the program every time. So let me execute the program now. See here what will happen. If you observe here, see, this is what you have to observe, guys. Program is not yet terminated. And still JVM, I said what? I said one thing. JVM always starts execution from the line number 1 of the main method. So comes here. So internal it will define X. Y, memory level Y. But there is no value. If you observe here, there is no values as of now. Then it comes here. It created an object called as scanner object. That is okay, cool, and you given that. Simply internally it created a scanner object. Now JVM waiting at line number 21. So and JVM is looking for a value from the user who is executing the program. So JVM is waiting at this line number 21. So see here, program is not yet terminated. That means still Java is, your program execution is not completed. Why? JVM waiting at this line, because you said like in the x value, x variable level, you are taking value from the keyboard dynamically. So scanner is waiting to get the input value from the keyboard. So now as a developer, what you have to do is, so here from the console, from the console, from the console, provide some value, whatever the integer value. So you have to provide it. So then what will happen? For example, if I enter 10, then the 10 will be stored inside the X level. Now, okay. So that means you enter 10. That's right. Fine. It will take X value as 10. Then JVM again move to the next line. Then again in this case also what you written? You are taking data from the scanner dot next end. So that means here also JVM will is waiting for Y value. Now again as a user executing the program, you given 20, then Y value is going to taken as 20. So finally X and Y values you given dynamically, and by taking that values, JVM will do the other rest of the logic execution will be done. But the problem here it is, as a user I am unable to identify at what level what value is being it is asking. So to get it, to avoid that confusion, what we will see, the program is not executed completely, still it is in the red color, means the program JVM is still waiting for you. And if you see here in the console, my cursor is blinking. So that's what I said. In the JVM is comes at line number 21, and JVM is waiting for you to enter a value. Now I entered 33. See, observe here guys. Here. Now I entered what? 33. And I'm clicking on enter. So my first value of X is completed, and I given enter 33. Now what I said, then JVM will wait for at line number Y. Why? You given scanner and you are saying like here user is going to enter a integer value for the Y variable. So that's why it is waiting for you here. Now I am giving 55. Now I am clicking on enter. Once I am clicking on enter, what will happen? JVM will move to the next line. Simply X plus Y, 33 plus 55 prints 33 minus 55 prints it. So nowhere you are not entering any data. See here, now I am clicking on enter button from here only, from the console. See, the addition is 58, the subtraction is minus 22. Now again I am executing the program. Now I am giving whatever values comes in my mind, I am just providing here. So 44444444. First value, second value. And second value level, again I am clicking on enter button. See, addition is 88, subtraction is 0. So now somewhat this program, not somewhat, now this program is going to take always data dynamically from the user whenever you are executing the program. So what I will do in this case is, so here I will write some message like this. It's better to write, please enter X value. Please enter X value. So like that, you return some message. Now then, here also I will write like, please enter, or else instead of X value, please enter first value. It's a meaningful point of view. Now please enter second value. Please enter second value. So I'm asking, I added simply system.out.println message. Now see, I'm executing the program. What will happen? X comma Y, this object is created by the JVM. This line will be printed as it is because it's a out. So then this line will be printed again. JVM is waiting at this line to get the input values from the user. Run as Java application. See now JVM is waiting. If you see cursor, if you are keeping cursor here, where it is, it just waiting for the user to enter the value. So now I am asking please enter first value. So now I given 22. Enter. Now enter second value. I entered 44. Enter. Now see addition is 44, subtraction is minus 22. Now again execute the program. Again it is, see here you are now nowhere you given the fixed values this time. So whenever you are executing the program, every time JVM will ask you, please enter the real values. For the first value x comma y point of view, I'm talking. Now addition is this one, subtraction is this one for these two values. So this is what we are discussing from last half an hour or 40 minutes. Taking input dynamically by the user on every execution. So in this case, what is the approach we did? Earlier we provided values dynamically. So whenever you provided values dynamically, what happens? JVM is never ever waiting for you entering the real values. JVM is keep on executing. But this time what we made today is somehow we are providing values every time whenever you are executing the program. So dynamically we are providing the values. So how to do that is by taking the scanner class. By taking the scanner class. So is it clear until this point? Simple guys, just avoided the fixed values, taking data dynamically from the keyboard when you are executing the program every time. So by using scanner, we can achieve that. Now, if I want to, I'll take one more program. My requirement is okay, full name of user. So that means user means what is my point is I'll just explain you. My requirement is so you guys are clear now what's happening? Okay, cool. Okay, now see here what is my requirement is generally every person will have first name and followed by last name. If you see any so many applications also, whenever you are registering your account, they will ask your first name and then their last name. So if you are joining this first name and last name with some space, it will comes under the full name, right? So now my point here it is take first name, ask the first name so that user will enter the first name and then take second name or last name, whatever it is. So then user will enter the last name. So ultimately you have to print like your full name. Full name is something I have to print like first name space last name. So this is what I have to do that. So I have to get first name one time, last name one time, and ultimately I have to show both in the one line. So this is what I have to do dynamically every time. So what you have to? So first string first name is the variable. So if I am giving values here like Dilip and then string last name equal to something like whatever it is, Dilip's SINGH whatever. Now what is the meaning? What is there is no dynamic input case involved in this case because you given values fixed this time. So that is what not we are expected in today's topic. So we don't want to take fixed values here. We will always enter values dynamically when you are executing the program. Okay, for that you decided to take scanner class. Okay, fine. And create the scanner object scanner from the java.util package. So please understand it is imported. That's why I told you. Please visit the old concepts always. Scanner and I'm creating some variable name scanner. You can give anything here s or whatever it is. New scanner. So here you need to pass system.in you have to pass semicolon. So finally with this you are created the scanner object. Now what is your next point? You have to take variable value string first name value, right? So that means please enter your first name. Some message I written like this and in the next line first name equal to from the keyboard scanner dot I have to get the value. But if you observe here there are so many methods available. In previous example when I take an integer variable, I taken something, if you see here, next integer, next int is a predefined method. So it is taking what always integer value. But this time I have what string data. So what I have to do? Can I take next integer like whatever I give taken in the previous example? If you see here, compiler is saying some error. What is that error is? Type mismatch cannot convert from integer to string. So that means the predefined method next int from the scanner class is designed only for the integer values. So that's why when you are having integer variables and you want to read integer values from the keyboard, then you have to use the next int method from the scanner class. But if you want, in this case, it is a string, what you have to do. So let's take another method called as next line. If you see here, next line. So it is takes string. Scanner, something like related to this one. So now the compile time error is gone. So now similarly, I'll write for one more thing. System dot out dot print ln, and I'm writing please enter your last name. Please enter last name. So then after this line is printed, then JVM will come to the line number 24. So line number 24 level, I'll take second variable name called as last name equal to scanner dot next line. Why I am taking next line predefined method from the scanner class? Because next line is the method is dealing with the string data type. String data type. So has, sorry, next line. Enter it. Yes. Now with this what happened? For this variable you got the value. For this variable also you got the value. So that means dynamically you'll get value from the keyboard here also. So now what you have to do? You have to make sure string full name equal to what you can do? First name plus some space plus second name. Concatenation. We are doing that. Sorry, last name, whatever it is. So first name plus last name. Sys out of full name is, your full name is then full name. So in this case, what is the achievement we did today? Right now also, we are going to take data from the keyboard dynamically. Now, if I am giving this program to any others who then they are executing their program, what will happen? It will ask always what is your first name. Now I given my first name is Dilip. Enter. Then it is asking what is your last name. Then enter your last name. Dilip. I mean whatever second name. Then your full name is Dilip Singh. So like that. Now if I am executing the program, something I given. Again it is asking what is your first name. Java. So what is your last name? Language. Then it is printing Java language in the format of like this. So in this case, what we achieved from previous example, current example, what we are achieving means we are bringing some dynamic nature to the programming. We are taking data from the keyboards. We are taking data dynamically when you are executing the program. Instead of providing fixed values here, if you provided fixed values, what will happen in this case? If you are executing your program 1000 times, 2000 times, you are not providing value always dynamically. You are not providing values always dynamically. Simply Dilip Singh, Dilip Singh, Dilip Singh, Dilip Singh 1000 times, 2000 times. But in this case, you are bringing a nature to the programming like and getting the data dynamically from the keyboard. But what is the point you have to understand here? It is for different types of data, if it is integer, what we used? A predefined method called as next integer. And if it is string, we used a method called as next line. Similarly, what about the double? What about the char? What about the float, etc., etc.? I think we have either another 8 primitive data types, right? Out of that integer we are done. So similarly, float, char, boolean, what about all this? So what are the methods available for all these means? Mostly the methods are always starts with a word called as next. So we will see one example right now. New class my biodata, something like that I taken. So now you are writing biodata application. See here what I am doing. So let's take like this. System dot out dot println please enter name. Then in the next line, so string name equal to yes. I want to take data dynamically from the keyboard. That means dynamic data. So as of now, if you want to take the dynamic data, are you ready with the scanner object? No. So that's why please make sure scanner class is ready. Scanner object is ready. So that's why scanner object I am creating here. So scanner equal to new scanner. So here you have to pass system.in. See, please make sure Java is a case sensitive language. S is capital, S system is a predefined class. Whatever you are using on daily basis, out is representing output, in is representing input. Those are all defined by the Java language already. Now what you will do? Scanner. Yes, now your scanner object is ready. Now scanner dot which method you have to use means next line. Because why the variable is string data type. Okay, fine. Now string is ready. Sorry, name is ready. Similarly, ask user enter your age. Enter your age. Then followed by age I will take integer format. Integer is equal to something. What you have to take again? Scanner. So simple guys. In earlier case I defined variable here and then taken value here. But in this case what I am doing variable declaration as well as taking value both I did in the same line. That's all. It's up to your choice. You can take string name, integer age, and then you can write name equal to age equal to, or you can define directly also. It's all your programming skills now. So scanner dot here I have to take next integer because why? It's a integer data type. Then fine. So now again immediately once he enters age value, what I will do? I will ask enter qualification. So qualification comes under string data. So that means I'll make sure again string value, string data. So that means string qualification is the variable name and then followed by scanner dot next line. So fine. Then again, so total 3 times JVM will ask you value now. Enter name, enter age, enter qualification. Okay. Now I will ask one more question. System, do you have percentage greater than 70 or not? So this is yes or no question, true or false kind of question I'm asking. So I'm asking like, do you have so and so percentage or not? Now the person should say like true or false. In Java, if you want to take yes or no situations means we have always yes or no, true or false point of view, right? So that's why I taken boolean is percentage qualified, something like that. Variable name, you can take anything, meaningful variable names. So what I have to do, see here, scanner dot. In this case, I cannot take next line, next integer, because I'm taking what type of variable? Boolean data, Boolean variable. So Boolean data means true or false. In this case, the value should enter user always either true or false. So in this case, what method you have to take? So see here, simple guys, it's just like next boolean. If you see here, next boolean. If it is next double, double, next double. If it is float, next float. Integer, next integer. If it is char, short, next short, next short. I mean short variable. If it is char, something like that, you will have it. So next boolean I'll take. Similarly, I'll ask what is your pass percentage? Enter pass, average of the marks, average of marks, something like that. So then average means I can take double or float. So I'm taking double, average of marks equal to scanner dot. So in this case, what I have to do, I should not use next into next lang. So next double predefined method given by the Java language. So that means for string next line, for integer next integer, for boolean next boolean, for double next double, for float next double, like that set of methods given by the Java language, predefined methods. So those methods you have to do that. Now what will happen with this? How many values you are reading from the keyboard dynamically this time is name, age, qualification is percentage hour of the. Now let's say here sys out of so sys out of name colon plus name. Sys out of inside double quotes. After that, what we taken age colon plus age. I'm just printing in a proper order now. Whatever data I taken here, I'm just printing in a proper order. Like we are just giving on a glance his biodata information, whatever he entered like that. So then qualification. Okay, so what you can do next, qualification is percentage qualified. So percentage greater than 70. Question mark symbol followed by is percentage qualified. Something like that, true or false. And then average of marks plus, I mean just concatenate that plus average of marks. Okay, so now execute my program. What will happen? If I started executing my program, JVM starts from the line number 1, create scanner object internally. Then it will print this message. There is nothing, just only simple system.out.println, then it will print. And then JVM is waiting it here. Why? Because you used scanner and next line. So that means it is waiting for the user to enter the data. So JVM is keep on waiting for you here. Then I decided, okay, let me give value as Dilip. and I clicked on enter button. Then what JVM will do? It will jump to next line. It's a simple printing message. It will be printed. So based on that, you understood like enter your age. Then JVM comes here. JVM is waiting again here because you used scanner.next integer. So then you entered something like 25, whatever it is, and clicked on the enter button. Then JVM is going to the next line. This will be printed and comes here. Again, it is waiting here because you use the scanner object and it is expecting qualification. So that means you entered your qualification something like post graduation or whatever it is, and then you clicked on this. So then JVM comes here, it will be printed, and JVM comes here, it is waiting for you. Why? Because you used again scanner object. So that means it is always waiting for input from the keyboard. So in this case, you would given, I already have 76%, so that's why I given like true. If you given wrong data, what will happen here? It is, for example, assume here it is expecting age integer, right? So if you given integer value 25, nothing will happen. Assume you given 25 or something like that in a string format. Then what will happen? It will try to keep string format into integer variable level. Comparison, I mean the data conversion problems will come. So that means your program will execute, your program is going to execute means no. Compiled, you will get the runtime errors. When you're executing the program, you'll get the runtime errors. We will see that point also. So in this case, I entered true. Then inside this true will be set. Now it will come here. It will be printed. It will come here. It is waiting because you use this scanner next to double. So now I decided, okay, my pass percentage is 76. I given like that. Then internally it will come 76.74, whatever it is I given. Then that value will come here. So now immediately what will happen? Prints this, printing this name Dilip, and similarly age will be printed, qualification will be printed, and similarly all the other data is printed line by line because you collected all the information now. So all that information is utilized here, and finally your Biodata is printed. So this is how the things are happening. I mean, this is how you can make sure. Now onwards, what you have to do is going further. See, it is waiting for you. The program termination is not yet completed. It's still in the red color. So I given Dilip Singh. Enter. My age is 30. Enter. Qualification. Something why? Enter qualification. Okay, I clicked on enter randomly. I am not sure. So I will execute one more time. So I given true here. See, if you are clicking on enter, then it will take space. That's what the problem. Enter average of the marks. I given 76.76, something like that. Now see here, name is Dilip Singh, age is 30, qualification, I don't know, I entered, clicked on enter 2 times. I'll check one more time. So percentage true, yes, average of marks, everything is printed here as a biodata. Whatever I taken collected data here, I'm just summarizing and I'm just printing as a biodata format. So let me execute this program. Now this program is executed and a person is entering data. So something like Sham and age 27, and then qualification level, some problem we have. We written properly only, I don't know why, what's happening. Next line. Generally, I'll tell you, that's what I thought of explaining right now. In real time, what we are going to take here. So are we going to write down scanners means? No, I'll tell you that. Okay. So you can take next also as part of the string. Not next line. You can take next line. I think it's better to take next. So name next I have used. So that means next line or next. Next line means it is moving to the next line. Uh, you can take next method also. So if I'm using next for the string data type, I used a method called as, give me a moment. Yeah, sorry. So now let's execute our program one more time. Run as Java application. So it is asking name. So I given like Sham, and then it is asking age. I given like 26 or 27, and qualification I given like under graduation, whatever it is. And do you have pass percentage, means he said yes I have, or else something like false. And then average of marks, he got only 76.78 percentage, like that. Now see, Sham, age, qualification and all. So you just take the next method for string data type. Remaining, you got it the point. So like this, you are bringing a feel to the programming, like you are entering data dynamically every time. Now whenever other person executing this program, what will happen? Again it will ask what is your data. So now you just enter like this, enter your age, something like 26, and then enter qualification, maybe post graduation, and then do you have pass percentage? Yes, true, greater than 70, true, and he is having assume 90.99 percentage, something like that. Fine. So final data is name is Nang and something like that, qualification and everything you provided here. So you are making a dynamic input always while you are executing the program by using scanner class. So this is how you can provide the dynamic data to the variables going further onwards. So my expectation from today onwards is, what you can do is, don't don't define don't define data don't define data directly inside logic. Data means values, guys, please remember, data is nothing but values. Like if I declared integer a, integer b equal to 20, so whatever the value it is, 40 will be called as data. B is a variable, a is a variable. A don't have data, b is having data, that means real values. So don't define data directly inside the logic. So that means don't define like that. So whenever you want any variables, declare it, but take data always from keyboard dynamically. Dynamically means that's what you just need to make sure using the scanner object and all. So that going further, what will happen? You will feel something like you are doing the real coding. Otherwise, what will happen if you are keeping all the values in a program like this, percentage age, 40, F and all. So it will not, it will, if you are executing your program 1,000 times also, output will not change. It is not reality, right? In reality, data will change every second, every minute, person to person data will change. So then what you do? So like that. So if possible, please take all these kind of examples with real values now. So that means percentage, no value. Then ask, enter your percentage, enter your gender, enter, then write a logic like, then this data you have to comparison all these things. So now whoever is a person comes with the data. So now enter your country, enter your gender, enter your skill, like that. You will make sure taking data dynamically from the keyboard. Whenever you are executing this program, what will happen? You will check that player is selected or not based on his country name, his gender name, and gender value as well as skill value. So you can keep on executing the program with different persons, different data, and finally you will conclude like whether they selected or not. So like that, don't give values. So that means now the next time onwards, don't give values like this. So provide only variables, take input from keyboard or data dynamically. So that now we will ask person one country equal to something like scanner object, scanner dot next, like that. Then the person will enter like that. Please enter your country. Then country equal to, like that you will write the logic. So please make sure going further, don't take values directly like this. As much as possible, try to take data always from keyboard. Always from the keyboard dynamically. Don't take always like a equal to 10, b equal to 10. Try to take always data from the dynamically, so that you will get a feel like you are making the real coding. So if you, is it true or means yes true, right? Until and unless, I mean until yesterday, what is the field we are making? We don't know. We are keep on giving Dilip 25 fixed values, and whenever I'm executing the program, it is keep on executing. But today onwards, whoever is executing this program at any point of time, every time you are entering the data dynamically. Now I'm entering something like, okay, something like Trump, and then age 77, and enter qualification, maybe whatever it is, post graduation something, 70 percentage means true, and then followed by average of marks. So got I assume like 88.88, something like that. See, now the biodata is printing dynamically. Now if I'm executing again, one more person is saying and asking, could you please prepare my biodata? Then you are asking what is your name, then you are saying something like Suresh or whatever it is, age 44, and then qualification. So said like he is having only undergraduation, percentage false, and then average of marks 55.55. See, now the biodata is coming. Now next point, enter name. So I entered my name Dilip and enter your age. Now for example, in this case we are expecting integer value, but I given something like 25 or whatever it is in string value I given. Now enter it. What happened? Immediately it is saying some exception. Input mismatch exception. Some error. Exception. What is an exception and all you will understand later. So simply right now you can consider as, and you are executing the program, you got some error. So our exception we can call it as generally, not error. What is error and exception we will discuss after some point of time. So you got an exception. So that's why whatever the method you used, based on that you have to enter the values here. So that one thing you have to take care here. Otherwise, scanner will give an exception like, hey man, you defined as integer and you take an integer method, but you given string value, not integer value. So I'm unable to convert data from one data type to another data type, like input mismatch exception, you will get it. Okay, so this is how things will happen. If data type and values are not matching based on the methods used from scanner class. Okay, so just make sure going further, don't take anywhere else values directly, take always data from keyboard dynamically wherever you want in the flow. And please write all these examples. My next point here it is, in real-time application point, see in this case execution level, you are taking data dynamically. Now when it comes to the real-time point of view, real-time applications, now you may get an idea, sir, how things will happen in real time. Probably everyone knows an idea, but I'll just tell you a small high-level point of view. I'll give. See, when it comes to the real time, if you observe our Gmail application, Facebook applications, whatever it is, if you observe, for example, you want to create a Gmail account. What will happen? You will open the Gmail. This is the real-time application, right? So now you want to create an account. So what you will do, click on create account for personal use. Now immediately what it is asking, enter your first name, enter your last name. Now in this case, what you have to understand here it is, first of all, you are entering data from the front end, from the user interface. Nothing but front end. It will be called as front end. So that means by using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, AngularJS or React.js, whatever it is, I'm not talking about all those things. So that means via front end, the real users in the real-time application, the customers, real users will always enters data always by a front end. And that data will taken by the front end logic and give it to back to the back end logic. So that means back end. So now when it comes to the back end, Java is there, for example, in our point of view. So that means in a real-time applications, a customer Customer means like you and me, like for the Gmail application, like Instagram users, whatever it is. The real customer will never ever involve directly with the backend. So you will not enter. You will never ask your customer by displaying in this format. Can you enter your first name? Can you enter your last name? Can you enter your email ID? Like that, you will not display. You will display in a proper what in this format. In this format. So in a proper user interface format point of view, user interface is nothing but HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So by using those technologies, they will collect all the data what we entered and given it to the backend developer. So in such case, you will not use the scanner. So you will have some other concepts called as servlets. Okay, HTTP request, HTTP response format, advanced Java concepts will come. The data whatever given by the front end to backend to take the data for every value whatever entered by the customer. So we will have some advanced concepts. By using that, we will take the data and we will process the data and we will keep in data inside the database and all. So that means in reality, real-time applications using scanner class is 0%. The reason is in reality means real-time applications because you will take data input always from the front end, not from the back end directly. So that's why. But with respect to our practice, today we are just in the core Java point of view. So that's why what we are doing, we are just making input is entering directly from the keyboard itself. So that's why I told you, just make sure taking data from the keyboard dynamically by using scanner class so that you will get a somewhat feel like you are getting real time data from the from the users every time. So if you are using dynamic data so that from the keyboard so that you are at least having a feel like you are getting data from some source instead of your directly written values here itself. So that's why just practice going further. Don't take variable values directly wherever you want. So directly don't take values like this integer x equal to y88 whatever it is. Wherever you are taking a variable and you read a value, make sure read it via keyboard dynamically so that you will get a feel like you are making real time coding. So and that's important also. So this is all about today's class, and with this we are done with the how to take data also dynamically from the keyboard. That is what we completed. User entering input values from the keyboard dynamically when you are executing the program. When you are executing the program. So nowhere, no values, fixed values we given. No. No fixed values. If you observe here, there is no fixed value. Every time you are executing the program, every time you have to enter the real values. So you are bringing a dynamic nature to the program. Dynamic input nature to the program. Okay, so what I will do is, if anyone I prepared, I started preparing assignments, but I will do one thing. Don't say the logic. These are all I'm putting as part of the material. So if anyone is possible, take this assignment on your own and try, guys. So this is not an assignment involving previous topics also. If you see here, so it's a just an assignment. In this case also you can involve taking the dynamic data, whatever it is. So what is my assignment is, I think I completed all the topics, whichever it is involving here it is. Define a bank application. It should have below functionalities. So that means you have to write a Java program. You can give some class name as bank application or whatever it is. Okay. And then inside that Java class, define a method for checking the balance. So to check balance, generally what really input required, guys? You need account number always. For that account number, what is the balance? You have to verify. So that means checking balance, providing account number, and it should print return. It should print available balance as well as the method should return available balance. Two things you have to do that. For that account number, take available balance and return available balance, whatever it is. Point number one. So you have to define one method number one. Now next method you have to define. What is that method is? Define a method for withdrawing amount for an account number. So that means now you are writing one more Java method, and that Java method, that method inside that class is responsible for withdrawing amount from that account number. Now you know that how banking applications will work. If you are having 1,000 rupees in your account and you are trying to withdraw 2,000, are you going to get money from the ATM machine? Tell me. Simple logic. You are having 1,000 rupees in your account and you inserted your debit card into ATM and you are entering 2,000 rupees for withdrawing. So is it going to allow you, or is it going to give you some message, anything else? What is the behavior you observe? Or you are having account 1,000 rupees and you are trying to transfer 2,000 rupees to your friend. So what is the message it will give? On an average, insufficient funds or low balance, whatever it is, some wrong miss, it will give you like transaction will not complete, transaction will fail, like invalid, or sorry, insufficient funds. Okay, available balance is less than the given balance, something like that. So in same nature you have to bring with respect to that method implementation. So this is all points representing what is the logic you have to implement inside that method. So method should take value of how much amount being withdrawn. Yes, you have to take two values, from which account you are doing withdrawing and how much amount you are withdrawing. From which account, how much amount you are withdrawing. So total two input values will comes in this place, account number and how much amount you are going to be withdrawn. Next, make sure before withdrawing, definitely you have to check the available balance. That's what the use case I given. So what is the use case I given? Your balance is 1,000 rupees, but you are trying to transfer or you are trying to withdraw 2,000 rupees. Even if you are entering 1,001 rupees also, bank person will say, hey man, you are having only 1,000, you return 1 rupee extra, whatever it is. So in this case, fail. If I given 1,000, tell me, if I given 1,000, what will happen? Success or fail? Success or fail? If I entered 1,000 as withdrawn, my available balance is 1,000. In this case, you are going to withdraw amount successfully or your withdraw is going to fail. Yes, it will success because it is completely exactly to zero. So that means success. Your withdrawal will success and your available balance will become what? Zero. Available balance will become zero. Why? Available balance minus withdrawn amount. Then finally your account balance is became zero. So that is what nature I explained here. If available balance is more than equivalent or withdrawn amount, then deduct the amount. Then what you have to do? So you will print like success and you will make sure like available balance minus withdrawn amount, whatever the amount you are withdrawn. So then you will do that formula and something you will update the real value. For example, assume that's what you are having 1,000, you deducted 900 withdrawn. So then what will happen? 1,000 minus 900 means your available balance will become 100. So like that is what I tell. If available balance is more than or equal to withdrawn amount, then deduct amount from the available balance and update available balance, as well as print a message as your withdrawn is success along with the updated available balance. You know that, right? Sometimes whenever you are withdrawing amount from the banks or ATM machines, immediately you will get a message. Your amount, so much amount you are deducted, your available balance is like that. It will show you the updated balance. So you have to make sure same behavior. Now, for example, if available balance is less, this is the approach. You entered 1,001, but you are having only 1,000, or greater than 1,000 you entered. So that means available balance is less than the withdrawn amount. Then print a message as withdrawn is failed due to insufficient funds along with the balance. So what is the balance he is having at that moment? So print that message and try print one more message like please enter, something like that. You can give some your own information. So it's all simple what we are doing in our real life. So this is all comes under in one method implementation. So what are the topics you will use? I will not discuss. It will involve conditions. See, The statements itself involving if available, if not available. So you understood now. If else conditions. If available, do this. Else, do this. So that's all you have to do that. So now one more method define, one more method called as it should take how much amount being depositing the amount. So in depositing amount, are you going to check the condition guys? How much available balance you are having? Assume you are going to the bank and you are depositing amount. In such case, do you think how much available balance? Then only I will deposit. No, right? No condition required. Yes, simply that's what. It should take how much amount being deposited for a account number. So print a message as deposit success along with the updated available balance and return available. And so once 200 rupees I added for existing 1000. So then latest balance is 1200. So that message I have to print like your deposit is success, your new balance is 1200. And as well as that method should return new balance also. Like that, you have to complete this assignment. So it is involving condition statements, not looping, conditional statements it is involving and some type of variables and all. You it's up to your choice. That's what I told you. So solution is vary from one person to another person. The way you are thinking, the thought process, what you are having, based on that, you can define your own logic implementation for these two, for this requirement. Total, what? Three methods you are implementing: balance check, withdrawing, depositing as part of the single class, and then execute the program. So I just prepared this assignment yesterday and I written program as part of the material point of view. So I will not show you that. So just take care of your own logic. Okay. So this is the assignment you have to complete. That's all for today. And if possible, take again in this case also involve the scanner that taking dynamic input like enter your withdrawn amount, then 900. Enter how much amount you want to deposit. Enter your account number. So once you are calling deposit method, then it should ask for which account number you want to transfer the amount deposit. Then I ask the what is the amount you would like to deposit 200. Then make the calculations and print like so. This is what you are expected or something like that. Okay. So similarly, I'll involve other assignments also. I will involve other topics like looping statements. I'll give that one more big assignment by this next weekend. I'll give that will involve looping concepts also. Slowly, that's what I told you. Slowly, I will improve the complexity of the assignments. If you are doing all these things on your own, that means you are almost doing the real Java coding, guys. I'm telling you. I told you already, don't start writing programming immediately. Think first of all, understand the requirements, define each, understand each and every word. One word will change the entire requirement. If available, if statement. If not available, else block. Like that, you have to think. So, like that, just make sure. And if you want to make sure the balance is shared in between three methods, which variable you will choose then? A variable has to be shared in between two, three methods, more than one method. Then which type of variable you can take? Available balance. For example, I said available balance. That has to be checked with check balance method, balance check, withdraw method, deposit method. Then which variable is suitable? Don't take static variables. Okay, I told you already. Static, don't take always non-static variables. There is no global variable concept in the Java. So static versus non-static, take always as a non-static variables. Define non-static methods only because in Java real-time programming you will write 95% non-static variables and non-static methods only. So that's why take in this case don't involve anywhere else static variables and static methods. Okay, except main method. So make everything as non-static variable and non-static methods. So how will you do that? It's up to your choice and I'll maybe after 2 days or 3 days whatever I written, that's what I told you. It's not like whatever I written that is the exact solution. No, you can write your own forming and all. So I just written an overview of solution. I'll share it with you. Okay, but not today. After 2 3 classes, I'll share it with you. Even I am updating as part of the material also. I'll share material with you. No problem. Okay, guys. Thanks to everyone. Let's connect on tomorrow. And tomorrow the topic is constructors. The most important concept is constructors. So what is constructors and all, we will see tomorrow.